Did you know that in 1917, something fascinating happened in the world of advertising? The US government released a poster to encourage citizens to buy war bonds during World War I. The iconic "I Want You" poster featured Uncle Sam pointing at the viewer, evoking a strong emotional response and a sense of duty. This is a classic example of the appeal to emotion fallacy in action. The appeal to emotion fallacy occurs when someone tries to persuade you using emotions rather than logic or reason. While emotions are an essential part of our lives, they cloud our judgment and lead us to make irrational decisions. The poster was designed by James Montgomery Flagg, who used his own face as a model for Uncle Sam. He wanted to create a powerful image that would capture the attention and imagination of the American public. He also wanted to appeal to their patriotism and loyalty, and make them feel personally involved in the war effort. The poster was very effective and ultra-successful, as it sold millions of copies and became one of the most recognizable symbols of American history. However, it also used a fallacious technique to manipulate people's emotions and influence their behavior. It did not provide any factual or logical reasons why buying war bonds was a good idea, or what benefits or consequences it would have. It simply used a direct and personal emotional appeal to make people feel guilty, proud, or obligated to buy war bonds. The appeal to emotion fallacy is still widely used today in various domains and contexts, such as politics, marketing, media, etc. It can be a powerful tool to persuade people, but it can also be a dangerous weapon to deceive them. Therefore, it is important to be aware of this fallacy and how it works, and to use your critical thinking skills to evaluate arguments based on their merits and evidence, not on their emotional impact. Hey rational rebels! Welcome to the arena of reason, the very place we train our minds to spot cognitive pitfalls. This is Chris from Critical Conditioning, where we strive for cognitive precision and free our minds from that mental prison. Today, we're exploring the appeal to emotion fallacy, a fallacy that occurs when someone attempts to manipulate emotions, such as fear, pity, or anger, to win an argument without providing valid evidence or reasoning. We'll delve into the psychology behind this fallacy and how it can affect our decision-making in critical thinking. Before we delve into this intriguing topic, remember to hit that like button, subscribe to our channel, and ring the notification bell to stay updated with our mind-strengthening content. If you find our podcast valuable, consider supporting us through PayPal using the link in the description. Your support helps us continue our mission of promoting rational thinking. Also, please share this episode with someone you know who might be interested in understanding the appeal to emotion fallacy. Supercharge your mind, hit subscribe, don't be left behind. Let's get started. 2 concrete studies on the appeal to emotion fallacy provide insight into its impact. One study by Small, Lowenstein, and Slavic, 2007, demonstrated that people are more likely to donate to a single, identifiable individual in need rather than a larger group of people suffering from the same problem. Another study by Braddock and Dillard, 2016, showed that emotional appeals are way more persuasive than logical arguments in many contexts, such as health communication. Here are 7 real-world examples of the appeal to emotion fallacy. 1. Advertising campaigns often use emotionally charged images and slogans to persuade consumers to purchase products. 2. Political candidates frequently use emotionally charged language to garner support and encourage voters to choose them. 3. News outlets may use sensational headlines and images to evoke strong emotional reactions like fear, driving more engagement and views. 4. Charities often rely on heart-wrenching stories or images to persuade people to donate. 5. In personal relationships, people might use emotional manipulation to get their way or control others. 6. Social media posts and memes often rely on emotional appeals to gain likes, shares, and comments. 7. Courtroom lawyers may use emotional stories to sway a jury in their favor, rather than focusing solely on the facts and evidence. 8. Climate change debates often involve emotional appeals, with some activists using vivid images of natural disasters or suffering animals to evoke strong emotional reactions, even though these specific instances don't represent the broader issue. 9. Marketing for diet and fitness products frequently employs emotional appeals, such as the fear of gaining weight or the desire for an idealized body, rather than focusing on evidence-based health benefits. 10. Debates surrounding immigration policies can be fraught with emotional appeals on both sides, with proponents using stories of individual struggles to justify lenient policies, while opponents may evoke fear and concern for national security. Individuals may be more susceptible to the appeal to emotion fallacy based on several factors. For example, younger people and people with personality traits such as empathy and agreeableness make someone more susceptible to emotional appeals. Another factor that may influence one's vulnerability to the appeal to emotion fallacy is gender. Some studies have suggested that women are more likely than men to be influenced by emotional arguments, especially when they involve topics such as health, relationships, or social issues. This may be due to biological or social differences in how women and men process and express emotions. To avoid falling victim to the appeal to emotion fallacy, consider the following tips. 1. Recognize when emotions are being used as a persuasive tool. Be aware of how images, language, and stories are intended to elicit an emotional response. 2. Take a step back and assess the situation rationally, especially if you feel that your emotions changed rapidly. Ask yourself if the emotional appeal is relevant to the argument or decision at hand. 3. Seek out additional information and evidence. Look for facts and data that support or refute the emotional appeal. 4. Develop your critical thinking skills. The ability to evaluate arguments logically and objectively can help you recognize when emotional appeals are clouding the facts. 5. Cultivate emotional intelligence. Understanding your emotions and how they influence your decision-making will help you remain objective when confronted with emotional appeals. 6. Engage in active listening. Pay attention to the speaker's words and intentions, and be mindful of any emotional manipulation they might be using. To spot the appeal to emotion fallacy, watch for these signs. 1. Emotional language or imagery that seems designed to manipulate your feelings. 2. An argument that relies heavily on personal anecdotes or emotional stories, rather than facts and evidence. 3. An attempt to make you feel guilty, afraid, or sympathetic to persuade you to accept a particular viewpoint. Stay vigilant, and don't let emotions cloud your judgment. So, rational rebels, what are your thoughts on this fallacy? Have you or someone you know experienced a similar situation? Share your perspective with the community and in the comments below. Your support is incredibly valuable to us. If you can, please consider making a donation through the PayPal link in the description. Every contribution helps us continue creating content that promotes critical thinking. Thank you for being a part of our mission. Keep your mind sharp, raise your banner with a like, enlist and subscribe to become a rational rebel alike, avoiding all the pitfalls that may come your way. This is Chris from Critical Conditioning, signing off for today.